So how should we begin this video? Let's see, Brother Shannon, and I'm not coming down on you. This is really across the board. My question is, how do you put a price on good cat? I'm gonna put my glasses on, my eyes are strained. Yes, that's right. How do you really put a price on good cat and justify the price? And I know everybody's gonna say, well, he's rich, he's this, he's that. Yes, I know. But look, Shannon and all the rest of the multi-millionaires, I'm just gonna be honest. Stop making these rich OnlyFans ladies and whatever. And I'm not throwing shade on them, but stop making them even richer. And especially the fact that you played professional football and you said you came from nothing. So if you came from nothing, when you be trying to get bargain basement, because if you started off in your career and you were hungry, you fought tooth and nail. So you take that same principle, and if you have to go out there and go cat shopping or to buy that fresh peach, look like to me, you would want a discount on that fresh peach or that cat. There are a lot of nice, sexy women out here that are providers of many given services, and I think that why won't we reach out to them? We want that status based on what that person is, based on her OnlyFans and all these other social media platforms that they may be on. But hey, she started from nothing too. So now me, would I don't know, let's say I won $50 million in the lottery. Would I be shopping for some $25,000 cheeks? And the last time I checked, cheeks comes as a pair of two. Y'all do the math. No, I wouldn't. And this is not nothing against that lady or any woman out here that's doing what she has to do. And y'all just keep in mind, they're sitting on a gold mine. And I'm not trying to say he paid too much or he's losing too much money, but over the long haul, yes, he will be losing a lot of money. And I'm sure he may be like most people. Well, he's interviewed a lot of people that has fallen from grace, if you will, that had all this money and lost it for many other reasons. So I'm quite sure that he probably has something put back. I don't think he's going to be completely broke after this, but it's going to affect him, in many ways. Will anybody want to touch him yet after this? Yes. There's going to be another young lady that's going to come up on the scene that's going to pick up where she left off. She'll take it at a discount. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you have to be smart enough to think longevity. I don't know their track record. I don't know if he was beating her up. I don't know if he was really doing all these terrible things. And, and I'm not going to make this just based on them, but let's just talk about it across the board. A lot of us, and I'm including myself, so I won't try to keep saying y'all, okay? Because I don't want to point fingers at nobody. But a lot of us put a value on many things. Men put value on their classic cars. They will value their classic car a lot of times more than their girlfriends. I wouldn't say more than their wives, because once he marries her, she has the ultimate prize. If she hang in there or if they hang in there. So we all tend to put a value on a lot of things. And this goes back when everybody was talking about the recession, people wasn't working and doing all these other things. And that's when a lot of these everyday normal, but I don't mean normal in disrespect, normal ladies started increasing the value of, let's just say, their massage, okay? Because somewhere out there, somebody will pay that extra price. But keep in mind, all good things must come to an end. And I think a lot of people are just getting caught up in the fact that this is some social media based drama, instead of looking at, a lot of us have that sister, that cousin, or have that brother that's doing the same thing. Guys at the barbershop or guys at the bar are always bragging about their sugar baby. They're always bragging about it. A man would rather take his sugar baby out to a bar than his wife. And I still believe that there are more men involved in this situation, because I'm sure she didn't have just one trick. And I'm sure that a lot of that kind of came into play. And the reason why some of these men have not stepped up yet, in his defense, not trying to get him off the hook, but a lot of these men have not stepped up based on the fact that they're probably married and they don't want to lose what they have. I mean, you take these big time executives and these board members that are always flying across country and have all these other things going on in their lives. Quite frankly, they probably will have something on the side or whatnot. My only issue is, and I'm gonna say this once, we're gonna leave it alone, is when they involve somebody underage. So we're talking about two consenting adults in this matter. So, and what surprises me, a lot of these young ladies that are on social media, or people that are just chiming in all over the world, at 18, everybody want to be grown. But the minute something like this jumps off, or they get caught up in some kind of trouble, now they try to reduce her back to a little girl. No, she's not a girl. She's not a little girl. You know, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that she was going to manipulate this man. She knew once things got out of hand, she probably did like him in the beginning. But a lot of cases now, women can be vindictive. And if they want to go at you, they're going to go at you. So me and y'all need to be careful with that too. You know, and, you know, I agree with what one of the guys said. He was like, you know, Unc had his receipts from way back, which is good. A lot of people do. Where's my other phone? I got receipts on basic conversations that I have with young ladies. Even if it's just a work-related thing. Once they start getting into where you deem it may be crossing the line a little bit, save those messages. Save those messages. Get yourself out of hot water. Now, my question once again, how do you really put a price on some good cat or buying a juicy peach? Here's my theory. It should be based on where you are, your level, your financial level right now. You know, I mean, if I'm working at a car wash and I'm making, I don't know, $150 a week, then my peach may not be as sweet as somebody that's making millions of dollars a year, but it's still a peach. And for that car wash attendant, that's the juiciest peach he's had. But if you're smart, you're at that level and you got that peach at a discount. Now you've moved up, you finished school, you moved up, you graduated, you got a great job, you know, $250 a year, $250,000 a year to start. I know to a lot of people that ain't a lot of money, but I'm trying to keep it simple. There's no reason why he should leave that peach where she is and try to elevate and increase the wealth on another peach, unless the one that he was dealing with wasn't no good anyway, unless she was past her prime and all these other things and he wants something else. But that's not to say that, you know, he's out here buying fresh peaches. So that's not to say that he can't have two peaches, or that's not to say that she, you know, she can't have two tricks. But what happens a lot of time when these women have more than one trick, the other trick starts playing mind games on her. The minute she tells the other trick, well, you know, I got this old dude, but he be tripping about everything. So this trick, his mind gonna start wondering. He's gonna play into her sympathy. Next thing you know, he's gonna start putting ideas in her head to manipulate him. And I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but there's always somebody else, you know. And for us to sit here and think, let's just say with married couples, for us to sit here and think that married couples, the wife ain't out there tricking and the husband don't know. A lot of time the husband will drop her off for her trick. So this kind of stuff comes in all kind of different shapes and sizes. But I think right now it's the here and now. Everybody just focused on that and the amount of money this man tended to lose. But up until this point, everybody knew he had a lot of money, but then we didn't know he had that much money coming in. He had a lot of cheddar. And I hate that for him, that he has stepped down or fired or whatever the case may be. But it happens. That's why now a lot of these celebrities and these sports figures and all these people, they have insurance on themselves against stuff like this. Because if I'm gonna lose my bread and butter, at least I know I got a big check coming. And yes, there are underwriters that will write you an insurance policy based on if you get caught tricking. They might reword it, but yeah, you can get insurance on it. And let's hope that he was smart enough to do that. And a lot of people were saying that Stephen A. knew. Look, y'all. Let's just be real. Y'all might not even like Stephen A. Smith. I mean, to be honest with y'all, I used to couldn't care for him, but I started watching him because he started talking about more diverse stuff than just. I can't see him watch nobody talk about basketball or football all day. But he's come around, and everybody's talking about, well, he knew this, he knew that, he knew he was gonna get fired, all this. Look, that man just got on there and said what he said. He said, that's all I know right now. He couldn't say so much. If you knew something was going on and you was at your job and you were the executive assistant and you knew exactly what was going on, and they tell you this is a hush matter, go out there on the floor and tell your business. Go on out there. You're gonna be leaving with the person that's about to get fired. So y'all need to take a step back and ease up on people when you don't really know all the story. I don't know. I know 1% of what happened. The man got caught. He in trouble. He losing money. That's all I know. So I'm not for or against either one of them in this matter. But she knew what was going on. And what y'all don't realize, when she started leaking things and she put it on one social media platform, she put and this was smart, she put the link to her fans, I'm gonna say. So it get picked up too. Now see, she's still selling herself. She's still selling herself even during this moment of allegations. That might have been a smart move for her to get more money, but that's gonna come up in the courts. I bet it does. Because they don't look at it, well, if you that distraught and you that hurt over this, why you still on here selling yourself? Come on now, y'all, just to be honest. But 25 grand per cheek. Yeah, go ahead and say, well, you just saying it because you ain't got it. No, that ain't even the case. That ain't even the case. And he can afford it. All these billionaires that was flying these jets all over the country and picking up these young ladies and flying them everywhere, they could afford it. But let's talk about that too. How could somebody be that smart and that wealthy think that you have to transport girls underage into other countries or across state lines to have parties and fun with them when you can pick up your party and your fun when you get there? The old saying is, why take sand to the beach? And those that know exactly what I'm talking about. If I was going on a vacation right now and I don't know, they coming at me 55, 60 years old, always talking about they want to travel. Look here, Miss Lady. I love you. I like you. I care for you, but I'm not traveling with you because we're not in a serious relationship. So why am I taking this, why are two relics traveling to the beach when one relic, me, can go to the beach and enjoy the sights and sounds of looking at all that beauty outside of the ocean, if y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, there is a price to be paid behind all this kind of stuff. And, I don't see nothing wrong with a young lady providing her services. You could do that in a lot of ways without making it all about sex. I really think a young lady could make more money, like millions of these other ladies out here doing, selling toenail clippings and foot shavings and locks of hair, and because there's a market for that too. We got ladies out here shipping pieces of their hair and their fingernails and toenails and their underwear across country, and people are snatching them up because they can price it supply and demand. That's how it works. So if you want to stay out of trouble, don't put your business out there all like that and all these other things. But I'm even asking y'all, what price would you put on some good services? Because I know when it comes to stuff like this, we all try to play innocent and say what we've never done or and all these things. Look here, y'all, I'm just gonna be honest. If you really, really narrow it all down, we all pay for it in the end. We all paying for it. You may not look at it that way, but what I found to be a dumb move now, these young ladies going out to dinner and they're complaining about how much money the man spent on dinner. It doesn't matter if that man spent $50 or $500. Guess what? The restaurant got the money, not you. If you wanted that man money, you should have told him straight up, hey, look, let's skip all this. I'll cook dinner. You come over. And then at the end of the night, you write them out a check for how much you think your food was worth. Consider it to be role play. I don't know. I'll be the restaurant tonight. But see, they're not willing to do the work. They just want the money, based on the fact that just watching this clip the other day, a man takes this lady out, and after the first date, I think he was driving the next day or whatever, and she sent him a text message, very first after the first date, saying she need $1,000 to get her hair done. And she questioned him or whatever, and he said, "That's a bit much considering we just went out one time." This lady had nerve to say, "Well, I'm a reflection of you, so I have to look good." Oh, lady, no, you don't. Because if you're going to be a reflection of me and you want to look good, first of all, you take off the wig, you take off the long eyelashes, you take off all that makeup, be as natural as you possible can be. Because when I go out with you, I'm going to be natural. So you're not a reflection of me. I mean, you really think about it. If you are spending that much money to get your hair done and it looks just almost as good as that $50 wig that's in a beauty supply store, you need to go back and get your change. And these women are out here making all this money, but they're not saving it. They're not saving it. And ask me how I know. I happen to know. I just say that I happen to know. How you out here being somebody's side, whatever, and you bragging about what all they doing for you, but you're not saving anything. It's a business too. It don't matter what price you're paying for that peach or for that good cat. And I ain't saying not one single woman on here that they should undersell themselves. But work within your limitations. Work within where you are right now. Now, if you just happen to be running a sale and your peaches are, I don't know, $50 a bushel, and you meet somebody that can afford to pay more for that bushel of peaches, that's all fine and good. But trying to come up and give a steep price to your one true regular, oh, he'll find somebody else. He probably's already looking at your girlfriend anyway. She gonna underbid you. So y'all need to stop. Y'all need to chill. Stop trying to be so greedy and like this lady going after him. The only thing is, I don't know if he could be guilty of a lot of stuff. But listen to that audio tape and saying she want to be choked and all this. Y'all, look here. Stop tripping. That's what they were used to saying to each other. Because I could tell by the way she was trying to be very careful to what she was saying. Because that was the moment of setup. But him talking about choking, oh yeah, I've said somebody on the phone, you pissing me off, I'm gonna choke you when I see you. But that don't mean I'm trying to murder nobody. It's a role play. And there's a lot of women out here that enjoy being choked. How do I know? I know firsthand. That's all I'm gonna say. But when it comes out, now y'all want to play the innocent role. I don't think we was put on this earth to always be with one person, one individual. Back in the day, that was the thing. We all got grandparents and even some parents in a lot of cases that were married 30, 40, 50 years. But now the way society has it set up with everything being so, temporary. So everybody's trying to get that temporary fix. And if they dated for a year or more, all fine and good. He knew exactly what he was getting. When she started talking about putting black babies in her and all these things, then everybody knows what kind of arrangement that was. But for me, hell, I've been doing all these things and I'm tricking off with her. The minute she starts saying stuff like that, number one, we getting involved in way too much kinky stuff for you start saying little things like put a baby in me, because now you really messing up the flow of how things are going. Because a lot of people, when you're in the mix of and you got that whole day planned and you talking about all this stuff and you about to really get your rocks off, the last thing you want to start be talking about or hearing about is kids. Because that's going to open the door with you may start thinking about your own or thinking about, damn, man, she right, man, I don't want to do this. All the money I'm paying for the child support. See, you're going to open up a whole nother door. I think everything has a place. So if you're going to be out here and being on this freak level, keep it like that. And And they was recording each other and recording everybody. Like I said, I tease people all the time. This is why I can't run for public office, but I wish somebody would come at me like that. Because you were there too. If it was that over the top, and you want to try to drag me through the mud for it, okay. So you think that's what really happened? Look here, Your Honor. Click. Watch this. So we all gotta look out for each other when it comes to this. But back to my original question. Just what kind of price you would have put on that juicy peach or that good cat? If you was in Shannon's shoes, would those cheeks been worth $25,000 each to you? Would it? I don't know. If you can afford it, I ain't putting her down. I mean, I think and a lot of people have said this, she's an okay looking young lady. And one brother even said himself, I want to see what she looked like unfiltered, to see if she's even worth that. Yeah, take it all off. Let's see you. Because I'm putting it just like that. If I'm out here finna look for a brand new vehicle, we can cut out all the fanfare. Let me see it in its raw form. There it is. Because when you're looking to invest in something, whether it's a nice bushel of peaches or automobile, you want to step away from all the talks in your ear. Pull away from it. Look, inspect it yourself. That's what you do. And for this woman, like so many others that have produced these offsprings based on money, y'all better stop doing that. Because you don't know what you're getting when you bargain for something like that. You may bring somebody into this world that ain't got no business. Well, I don't want to say got no business being in this world, but the final product may not come out the way you expect it. We all could put bread in the oven, it come out burnt and ruined, so you don't really know. And I do believe that when you start playing like that, there's a higher power that's going to make sure you out here tricking like this. I'm going to make sure you have to deal with this the rest of your life too. I really do believe that. But to sit up here and talk about all these other things, and now everybody's turning against him, and I'm not speaking for Shannon based on the fact that he was a big time sports figure. I mean, I knew he played football, but I don't know to what extent, because I'm not into football that much. I like to say this, sometimes it pissed my friends off. Man, I've been outgrew football or sports. I outgrew it. So, but to look at where he is now and how he says, well, I'm a big time country boy. Man, they talking about he talks with a lisp and all this stuff. That man is actually the identity that a lot of us claim. That's who we are. And it's good to see normalcy on social media now, instead of everybody got to be on here and be so fake and so well polished. I mean, I'm a long way from that myself. Meet me, talk to me. First thing some women say, man, your southern accent is real deep. This, and that, and the third, and all this. I said, well, this is who I am. I ain't got to up the pitch of my voice and sound like I'm from somewhere else. I'm proud to be where I'm from. Yeah, I am. I may not wanted to travel the road with some of the people that I was forced to travel it with, but I'm glad I got to a point where when that final bus stop came up, I got off that bus and I ain't looked back. Because just because you're born in a situation does not mean you're obligated to stay in it. I really do believe that. I really do. And these things that are stressing a lot of people out, that may make somebody reach out and do these things, I know firsthand, and I'm not telling on nobody, but I know firsthand a lot of people that are involved in this trade, if you will, this transactional trade, and two parties seem to be okay with it. But I have found it to be true that a lot of times when I'm talking to certain ladies about this, how bitter they are about it. And they always talking about, well, he's not giving me enough money. It ain't worth this little bit amount of money. Well, if you really think that way, think about what you're doing to not increase the situation. Because if you're just going to be an average housekeeper, you're going to get average pay. So if you really think about it that way, because the way I look at it, if I got to get up every day and go to a job that I would rather stay at home from, and I got to travel and deal with traffic and burn gas and go get it to get my money, then you should be able to come pick it up. I ain't airdropping nobody nothing. It has to be somebody that's close to me or whatever, family, whatever, that I would trust in seeing. But just some little stranger that pops up into my DM and start talking about money, no, I ain't sending you nothing. Come get it. Matter of fact, I need you to come clean up. Come clean up. And they hate when I say that, but they're getting bold out here. They're putting the wrong age up, and they're on these dating sites, and they're trying to reach out. And I'm not knocking that, but I'm not finna airdrop you no money. No, I'm not. And the minute you say no, guess what? You just being cheap. Okay, yeah, I am. But you said you needed the money, and I said you can come clean up for it. Come work for it. But just send you money just cause you say send you money, and you think you cute, you ain't even my type, first of all. So it just depends on how the situation goes. I mean, we're all guilty of that. We've played these little games, get your blood boiling, especially these older guys. Yeah, y'all talking about act. What they say? Act your age, and he said, I'm gonna act my wage. Oh yeah, it's exciting when you got some little young thing and they got you running all over town for something for them. Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. I ain't hurt nobody but myself. If I got it, why not? Why not? Why not go out my way? Because I may or may not have this jump off, but why not go out my way for her birthday? Why not? I'm able to do it. And that's how I think he is. And some ladies talking about maybe he's overcompensating for things because he didn't have this. He didn't have indoor plumbing as a kid. And his family was poor and all this. Y'all look here. Growing up, if I had to eat scrambled egg sandwiches every day for a week, when I got grown, that didn't mean I had to turn out to be some big freak. Y'all stop trying to say stuff. I mean, that goes all the way back to when they said the little girls, when we was all younger, how they was all hula hooping. And then it finally came out that Granny and Mama and them had them hula hooping to get themselves ready for when they become an adult. Well, a lot of that might hold true, but how about this? She just wanted the hula hoop. You ain't trying to tell me playing with a hula hoop gonna turn you out to be some big 25, 30-year-old freak? Come on now. Come on. I really do think that it's in us. I don't think you just woke up one morning and she woke up one morning and said, well, I'm going to do this. The same young lady that was going after all this money that's costing him his career and stuff, and not directly costing him a career because they both had a part to play in this, I don't think she just decided that this is what she was going to do. I think she probably was already doing it, and she was doing it on a lower scale, and she figured, well, hell, I can capitalize off this. Because there are so many ladies that are on social media right now that are trying to do the same thing. They're struggling, trying to get off the ground, figuring out what can they do to get to that status. You're trying too hard. That's not in you. I think that's the problem with them. And once again, they're trying to sell that $50 bushel of peaches for 3 times the price. Or trying to sell you on some really, really good cat that's bargain basement at best. But to somebody else, it may be top dollar. That's the only thing. It may be. Don't sell yourself short. No, by no means. But I can't understand why so many people are so against all these things, and they're trying to bring in all these other celebrities that are going through all these kind of things. even though all these things had similarities, these cases, money and sex, but they're still isolated. They were totally different. They were totally different. And for all we know, we don't know if Shannon has dipped below the legal age. We don't know that. He's made it to this level. Yeah, he ragged on somebody else for dating somebody that was way younger. He was doing the same thing. But I think that was a way to try to protect himself in case anything like that came out. But it came out, anyway. This is not nothing new, y'all. The only thing, if we really took this way back, like during the days of slavery and even around that time, in a lot of cases, the field hand, first of all, the man typically, a lot of cases, had a younger woman because he'd been in the field. He'd been working all his life. He's starting to slow down. He may already be 45, 50. But now he's slowing down. He's got a better position with master. But now he's starting to really realize all these beautiful ladies, so they may happen to be younger, so he's going to take one. We've all seen it. We all know it to be true. I mean, if you consider yourself an OG or old relic or whatever you want to call it, I'm put it like this. Ain't nothing wrong with having a dime piece on your arm when you just want to go out and have a good time and just be seen. If I want to do that, I can call a few younger lady friends to hang out with because they happen to be attractive, because they are very beautiful, because they're not experiencing the same 50 to 60-year-old stuff that I'm experiencing. But what do y'all have to talk about? Sometimes I just let them talk, let them vent, let them say whatever they got to say. I'm just enjoying the company. I'm sitting across from a beautiful young lady. I'm not on Shannon's level, and I'm not on all these other cats' level. But I'm just saying, if you take the average man, and he was just gonna go out, and it was just gonna be something quick, fast, in a hurry, or some fantasy stuff. Oh, he's gonna choose younger. In some cases, 20 years younger, or in this case, 30. I mean, whatever works for you. And there are a lot of ladies that are out here doing this. Just like everybody going around on social media talking about, you need to come get this 40. Yeah. There are older women that are paying these young guys $40 for them to drop by. There's actually a couple of blues songs about this, the Funky 40. Y'all can play it. So we can't just say this is all about what men do. A lot of women do it too. Because anytime you take a young lady and she's going out her way, she get a hotel suite. She order room service. She even Uber him over. She's paying for it. He ain't had to do nothing. All he knew that her sink was leaking and he was gonna come lay the pipe. If y'all know what I'm saying. So we can't just put this all on the fact that y'all men ain't this. Men ain't, to a lot of these ladies, in their eyes, we ain't never been nothing. And I ain't trying to prove to you whether or not I am or not. You either like me or you don't. We can't sit on here and keep talking about gauging everything that we do based on money and based on travel and all these things. Because I'm dead serious. Every time one of these women close to my age, the first thing out their mouth is start talking about they want to travel, they want to do all these things. Well, I tell you what, yeah, let's travel. Where you going? I want to go to Rio. Okay, I'll meet you there. Then their whole facial expression changed. Yeah, I'll meet you there. Because they just looking for a travel sponsor. You don't even know anything about me, but you expect me to lay out for this trip. Come on. What we going to do the entire trip? You're not going to get off the phone. Every 2 minutes, you're going to be telling me what your little grandbabies are doing. What little, all this kind of stuff. And come on. How many times you came back from death and how many operations you don't had. We can stay at home. I'll have some tea. If I got to hear all that grief And all this stuff about your grandkid, we stay all the tales at home. But if I really want to go with somebody, it's going to be somebody that has a whole lot less than all that stuff. Because I know we all got baggage, we all got problems, and we all got whatever going on. Some of us got health issues. But when I'm on break, I'm on break. I don't want to go on vacation and be talking about all that stuff. I really don't. But you know, putting a price tag on that bushel of peaches, I don't even have a problem with that. I really don't. You know, if somebody got to buy it and somebody's offering a good deal on a bushel of peaches, brother, go on buy them peaches. Don't feel bad about it. It's not like this is new. It ain't rocket science. You know, we're all in a way have possibly participated in something like that to a certain extent. In a way. And you got these ladies out here now, not only they're trying to base everything on what a man has, then they've got these teenage daughters, let's just say 16, 17, they starting to go out, they starting to like this little guy. Now these mothers are telling these young girls, "No, you don't need that. His parents ain't got no money." See, they already putting in her mind that she worth $1. They already put in her mind. Oh, look, mom, it ain't none of your business if your daughter likes Lil John, and so what? They don't live in that big 5-bedroom house that you slung that peach to get. If those kids like each other, let them just develop their own way. To me, that's worse than racism, because they didn't want us to play with the little, they didn't want the little white kids to play with the black kids. Now you doing the same thing. And then you got her all dressed up, looking, 10 years older than she is. So a lot of times we have produced these what do you want to call it? These internet sensations and these people that are out here doing this kind of stuff. A lot of times we produce that. Y'all think I'm playing. Just keep watching social media. You can see it. You see it all day, every day. It's everywhere. As they say, sex sells. It's everywhere. And if that man wants to spend his money doing all that stuff, even though he had certain agreements with his corporation that he can't be caught up doing all kind of frivolous things, they do that across the board. Basically, if you get caught putting your hand in that cookie jar, and if it's going to be a negative reflection on my corporation, oh yeah, you got to go. Because the way a lot of people looked at it, at that big time corporation, some of the employees that had been there a long time, they already trying to figure out, well, if I'm sitting over here and I'm still struggling, and this company making all this money, and they're not giving us a wage adjustment, and they bring somebody else in trying to get them $100 million, they're gonna all start griping about it. Now, the quality of your work is gonna go down. And my old saying is, when it comes to that kind of stuff, well, you get what you pay for. That's in any corporation. And a lot of people probably were that's at that big corporation was hating the fact that he's about to get all this money. I'm sure a lot of them did. I mean, I wouldn't. The only time I have a problem with something like that is if I know my worth and I'm working over here at Big Box A, and I'm just shy of making management, but for some reason I can't get to management. Then they bringing these new heads in there, but they bringing them in making more money, but then they come to me wanting me to train them. That's some bull. Nah, it's boss man. That's above my pay grade. That's all you gotta say. Well, I don't feel that it's a great match, or I don't feel that I can really perform at such a level to train this person. The hell, I'm finna train myself out of a job. You trying to get rid of me? Get rid of me. So that's a form of pimping too. So like I say, tricking is everywhere. It is. Some of y'all right now that's on here watching, you sitting here watching this, and you texting your jump off. Ladies, you texting your trick. or your 2 or 3 tricks. And they don't even know about each other. I happen to know firsthand. I happen to know an individual that's dabbling in maybe 3 or 4 of them, and they don't even know about each other. So what happens? Am I gonna tell? There ain't none of my business to tell. I've been in a situation where I've seen people just blatantly out and out, just totally 100% out there, just doing what they doing, cheating. And they worried that I'm gonna go back and say something. I ain't gonna tell your old lady. That ain't none of my business. You tell her. You tell her. Because I don't know what you're doing over there. Y'all might do just be coffee buddies. I don't know. But we already talked about that. You know, being open. To save yourself the heartache and the pocket down the road. So it's up to each individual. But I'm still asking. I'm still asking. I'm going to check out my comments later. Oh, by the way, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm so used to not saying that. I can't say it enough. I'm going to read over these comments and everything. And I want to find out. I asked the ultimate question. Just how do you set a price figure on good cat or bushel of peaches? Whatever you want to call it. And y'all know what I'm saying. And y'all know I'm trying to be as clean as I possibly can. So I just want to know. I just want to know. I really do. But actually, I was doing this video twice. I was recording it and I'm going live. But on the recorded part, I'm going to say that's all about this subject on the recorded portion. So everybody that's getting this recording right now, I wish you well.